So one thing that did come up a lot, though, there was this question, and I want to pick your brain on this, Cooper. What do you think about this, man? Is you pull that firearm out of the holster, right? Can you run the serial number on that? What do you think?
Who are you
Oh,
asking?
I'm
I know,
asking.
I know this. I know
Cooper?
this has been a hot topic. I'm gonna say if it's
Yeah.
just a traffic stop and you have nothing else, probably you're gonna err on the side of no because it's gonna extend the stop.
Okay. What do you think, Mike?
Wait, hang on. I think Anthony's here, right? I see him.
Yeah.
Here's Anthony.
Yeah, I can hear you.
You can tell we're talking about guns. You're like, I hear guns.
Yeah, you can hear me, right?
Yes, I
Okay.
feel a gun. There's guns being spoken about in the world, so I must.
Yeah. So here's my answer on this. I do not think that now if pulling out pulling out the gun from the holster, well, if you can unload it, which I think John kind of said that you can, I do agree with that. And if the serial number is in plain view, then you have access to that information. But I don't see how if we're going to extend a traffic stop to run a firearm, what gives us the right to do that? Why is that gun and running it through NCIC have anything to do with speeding?
Okay. So let's say we don't extend the traffic stop. I pass it off to my partner as I continue my investigation.
I think you're good to go. I think that's what you should do. Because I don't know how you say with a straight face if you extend that traffic stop how it's related. And there's a lot of anti-gun judges out there that will bend over backwards to uphold anything related to a gun. But if it goes to a higher level, like the appellate court, where they have some reflection on the Constitution and they care about actually making law for everybody, I don't see how. I mean, what if it was a laptop and we're running the laptop for NCIC? I know the gun's a little different, but the point is we shouldn't be extending it.
Yeah. And I think Cooper's right on that. I mean, he was the one who brought up the extension, right? Now Phil said it's a separate search. Was the gun lawfully possessed? Well, Phil, we don't know if the gun's lawfully possessed until we run it, right? I mean, unless the guy's a felon, right? Then we know that. Or well, even if he's a felon, we don't know, because he could have had his rights reinstated, right?
Well, I mean, look, if he comes back as a felon, we have probable cause that he is a prohibited person. Even if he has a pardon that wasn't entered into the system, we don't know that at the time. So it's a fair probability he's a prohibited person. So I don't think that's going to be the issue. The issue is going to be when we know nothing about this guy and we can run him. We do know that even the Ninth Circuit said that we can. Well, John's in the Ninth Circuit too.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, he's in Arizona. So the Ninth Circuit also recently said, I forget the case, but in this year they said that doing a criminal history check on a driver is permissible during the routine traffic stop. The passengers, of course, is a little different.
Yeah. So I put a case in here for you guys. Cooper, check this out. It's United States versus Shipley, 2017 case. I think the Ninth Circuit, I don't know if they reviewed it or if they turned it down in 2019, if they denied certiorari or whatever in 2019, but it's an interesting case. And basically the guy they think he's imitating a police officer, and they run the serial number. And there's this discourse that says, yeah, running the serial number itself is a separate search and you need to have justification for it. I disagree with the court's rationale, and
No.
yeah, I don't like it.
That doesn't work. If we lawfully have that information, that serial number really is no different than a license plate number. I mean, or the one thing that I teach, John, I know this is a little bit more finicky, but when you ask a passenger for their ID, right? You can ask. I mean, I've not seen any court case out there that says you can't ask. In fact, I've seen the opposite. It's just that the running them is a little tricky, because again, are you extending a traffic stop to run for an unrelated reason? And well, at least I know the Ninth Circuit. Well, a district court in the Ninth Circuit in Nevada says that it's really not related to safety. I'm not sure if I agree with that either. But once you have their OLN, their ID number, then if you don't extend it, then we can run them, right? I mean,
And this is
if you pass off to.
This is my purpose, right? I mean, you can run a license plate. Why? Because it's there, it's visible, right?
Yeah.
And
yeah.
are firearms more heavily regulated than vehicles?
Probably not, actually. I mean, that's, I guess I gotta. I don't think so.
Public exposure, less
Are
public,
they?
but yeah, I don't know.
I guess maybe. I mean, I don't know. I mean, but cars are not a constitutional right, so that kind of throws me off a little bit. But
Okay.
You know, to get the gun is obviously, to get the gun is more highly regulated, but to have the gun, I don't think it's as highly regulated. But anyway, I guess that's a different topic. But
Yeah, we're going far afield. We could have a whole, let's just do an 8-hour class on firearms for every state. Cooper, your add-on to this, right? Now that we've gone all over the place. Hopefully it was helpful, but your add-on to this was you go up, you knock on a door, dude opens the door, he's kind of hostile, kind of shady, kind of being a dick, and there's a gun sitting right next to him. Can I go in and grab the gun? A whole lot of questions that I need answered, man. Whole lot of questions that I need answered, right? First off, why are you at the door? You know, I mean, are you going up and you're doing a knock and talk? Are you going up, you know?
Yeah, I honestly, I don't have a particular scenario, but I mean, just kind of cover, but I agree. I mean, I guess it would just have to be articulable as what is the actual basis of the contact, you know, so.
So let's assume for argument's sake, you're lawfully up there knocking on their door, right? Ryburn versus Huff is the case I'd like you to check out.
Yep.
And basically what they said is you can go in, right? Because there's exigency if there's an objectively reasonable basis to believe that violence is imminent. Violence is imminent. And so you would have to convince that judge that based on your interaction with him, he is like, you're like, man, he's going to go for that gun. You sell me on that, then you're good. Obviously, if you're there for a legitimate purpose and there's some, you know, relatively serious crime that you're investigating, I think it's going to be easier.
I agree.
Absolutely.
It's gonna be a hard sell, though. I mean, that's gonna be a hard sell to go in there.
Yeah, I mean, Ryburn versus Huff, obviously that went all the way to the United States Supreme Court. So
Yeah, and that's a school shooting. Yeah,
there's
go ahead.
famous to commit violence, commit shootings, correct? I think.
right. Yeah, and then you
Yeah.
talk severity of the crime, it doesn't get any higher than that, right?
No,
No,
but
no.
yeah. But just because a guy, I want to be careful with the cops. Just because you've got a guy who, you know, is getting a little pissed off that his government is at his doorstep, you know, inquiring about his activities. You know, I mean, with Ryburn, she was like, she did a 180 and started going for the house, you know, and the cops felt like it was like a now or never situation. I don't know. I mean, there's gonna be, if you see the guy going for the gun, obviously you got to do what you got to do. But if he, you know, sounds like also if he doesn't want you there, then you should turn around and leave.
I agree.